Nobody tells you this when you're starting out setting boundaries for the first time in your life. To tell you the truth, I remember it being very difficult, and I'll tell you why. But first, my childhood had been a pretty exceptionally difficult one for me. I was an extremely passive kid. I barely spoke to anybody, barely had friends, and my teachers, without fail, were worried about me all the way through elementary school. Every single one wondered why I was such a quiet, tranquil little kid. And my mother kept on responding, well, that's just her personality. She had no idea why. I was not taught boundaries when I was a kid. So when, as an adult, I first tried to set boundaries, it actually felt like somebody else said, like if I had just been fighting a lion. My nervous system was a wreck. And that's when I realized when I was an adult, I would actually swing between freeze and fight or flight. So those are two nervous system responses. When I was a kid, I was in what's called functional freeze, which means that I was always kind of numb, always kind of quiet, low energy, and hence the passive state that I was in all the time. But when I was an adult and starting to kind of sort of get out of that, I would swing between the freeze and fight or flight. See, that's another thing that I was not told. You end up either submitting or being aggressive with somebody when you're not used to actually having real conversations with people, where you're actually setting boundaries, where you're actually trying to learn how to deal with a work environment. Something as basic as just an ordinary office job was super difficult for me. So when you're setting boundaries for the first time, it will be difficult. You'll be scared out of your mind. And I'm sharing this with you because the more you do it, the better it gets. Believe me, I have a much easier time doing it today, and I'm glad I started. As scary as it was, it's such a relief when you manage to be able to start developing proper relationships. I don't relate with people the same way anymore, and I don't feel scared out of my wits anymore when I do it. So if you want to know more, I have a great article on LinkedIn about this. Link is in the description. Come check it out.